All right, people. Let's go. Wedding planning season. It's it's legit. It's real. It's tough. It's all the things indicative of not knowing what you're doing and having to sort it all out day by day. So you know that feeling you want on your wedding day, that perfect vibe for the ceremony, the classy energy during dinner, that epic party on the dance floor. That's your vision. But the most critical part of hiring any wedding vendor is finding someone that can distill that vision into an actionable plan. So today I'm going to be pulling back the curtain a little bit on how a quality DJ can do just that for your music, ensuring the soundtrack that's in your head gets on the dance floor on your big day. So I'm DJ Willie D. This is Wedded Whispers. This is where I kind of try to help you better plan during your wedding season. All the tips, tricks, um, the budget, budget friendly tips. And budget friendly is, I don't necessarily love that word. Budget means different things to different people. Budget could be 30K on a wedding. Budget could be 15K on a wedding. Budget could be 6,000 on a wedding. So, but take that for what it's worth. So, what I am is a wedding DJ slash planning expert, if you will. Um, and when I say planning expert, you'll see why. I'll show you the proof. But what I do is try to help you distill your vision and get it locked in with your wedding vendors, help you kind of put everything into perspective and bring everybody into one format, one tool that can help get everybody on the same page on purpose. So let's do this real quick, see if I can remember. And I'm still kind of new at this podcast thing, but we're going to get it together. All right. So your vision in action. What songs play down when you're walking down the aisle? What's the vibe for your cocktail hour? Those must play songs for your college friends, your besties, those songs that you know all of your VIPs are going to be around you on the dance floor. What are those songs? And most importantly, that do not play list. And when I say most importantly, I absolutely mean it. Your do not play list is probably the most important item you can hand to your DJ to help us keep in line, keep us inside the lines, if you would. So let's talk about a few things here. Juggling all of these items is stressful for sure. It's tough to communicate all the details to your DJ. You're worried about something, if something's going to get missed. And this is a classic example of where the couple's clear vision can get lost in translation. And this is why I and other DJs use a dedicated planning app to solve this exact problem. The one I provide for my couples is called Vibo. So let's get there, show you what we're working with. So this is Vibo. This is how I help my couples plan every aspect of their day from start to finish. And when I say from start to finish, I absolutely mean it. Um, the most important questions for me, for my couples, starts number one with, are you doing a first look? Whether or not you're doing a first look, that really does determine the flow of your entire day. So if you're doing a first look, you're going to open up a tremendous amount of time for photos post ceremony. You're going to shorten that period that your guests are without you. You're going to allow more time for you to spend with your guests on your big day. There's so many things that doing a first look um, facilitates in making sure the rest of your event is clearly executed the way that you want it to be executed. There's less room for hiccups. There's more time for you to get out and take those sunset pictures at the end of the evening. All those things. So let's head in here. We're gonna go to timeline and music, and let's show you a few things here. So as soon as my couples get in here, the first thing that they see is a little welcome video that shows them how to navigate the app. Shows them, a few tips and tricks to get their items input in a way that makes sense. I've got another section in here where they can add in their vendors so that I can be in contact first and foremost. And so that I know who I'm supposed to get in contact with on site. I know who the photographer is, the videographer, your officiant, your on-site contact. All those items are in there on purpose. Excuse me. But so we get all that information in there in one central location. And this is not just for me, this is for everybody else. So if my couple wants me to, I can plug in their photographer, their videographer, their coordinator, their on-site manager, all of those people. I can plug them into this app as well as guests, and you'll see why that makes sense a little later. But so they can see what's being planned, and this is not in place of any other item, but it can be used in place of any other item. We can bring everybody into this. Now, I do not cover pre-ceremony. I don't cover the getting ready stages. All those items are on your photographer's time. I do not mess with that. I don't touch it. And that's on purpose. But the next thing they've got in here, they can plan a schedule a planning session. There's a link in there for an active session. And I will do as many planning sessions as my couples feel they need. If it's 1, 2, that's great. If they've got their ducks in a row and I can track their progress, they can track their progress. And that's not a big deal. If they want to do 4 or 5 planning sessions, I'm here for it. As long as I've got the time, if I got a slot available, they can take that slot. So let's dive into this. So this starts at guest arrival. And we're going to, plug a time in there. Let's say you're doing a 4 o'clock start. So guests start arriving at 3:30. We're going to go through all the items, what time of music they want played. And here's a big help. We're going to go to add song. And I've got some song ideas built into this system. And each section that requires music will have song suggestions built in for that section. Now, it may not be exactly what the couple wants. It might not have the exact songs that they want, but the idea here is to give them ideas to get them to what they want. So you go in here and it's super easy to add songs. All you have to do is go in here, click that plus button and add the song. Done. Now, if they've got their own, if they want to go to their own Spotify or Apple Music, all they have to do is click the corresponding button there. It'll pull them straight into their Spotify or their Apple Music, and they can go to their playlist and add songs from there, or they can add an entire playlist. Or alternatively, they can search for a song or artist right there in the search bar. It is really that easy. Once you find that song, just hit the plus button. It adds it straight to the list. And like I said, again, it's the same for every section that calls for music. So we've got times here. You can plug in times. And this is where during the planning sessions, I'll kind of go through mock timelines with the couple just to kind of say, look, if these are the items that are important to you, these are the things that are most important to get captured in photography, in photo, and in video. We're going to focus on those items first. We're going to get those plugged in and get a time on those. And we're going to move and shake according to those items. Now, several details in here. And these, I try to cover more things than I need. And I do that so that I can understand if they're doing a room flip, if we've got, ceremony outdoors, maybe cocktail over on the patio, and then we're coming into the reception space, or maybe we're doing everything in one room and we're doing ceremony, we're going to do a room flip, and then um, invite uh, your guests back in for cocktail and dinner. Mm, all right. Other items that are in here on purpose, just to know how many mics I need, who's speaking when. Are there any unique elements during the ceremony? A unity candle or anything of that sort. We've got processional, and they can use as many of these or as few as they need. Typically, we've got procession of the wedding party, and then the bride's procession. That's most common. If we've got family processioning in formally, we've got a slot in there for them. And again, when you click on these, we've got song ideas in these sections as well. Notes for who's coming in by name. Couples exit. That's the recessional coming out after they're announced. We've got a section in here for cocktail hour. And I know not every wedding is going to have a cocktail hour, but it's in here all the same. And here's the beautiful thing about this. Let's say that we know, the couple knows for a fact that they're not going to have a family processional. They can delete that section. And it's gone. It's out of the way. We don't need that. It's less clutter. It's something, one less thing for them to have to look at as they're getting everything planned. So moving on, beyond cocktail, we've got intros. If you're, once again, if you're not introing parents and grandparents formally into the reception, just delete that section. Done. You got your wedding party. Are we doing, team bride, team groom, or are we doing the full wedding party as couples? Are we doing, all the ladies coming in, being named individually, and then coming in with the guys? Any way you want to do that, this is formatted in such a way that I can do anything that the couple wants to do. And again, we can plug times in this. So we've got intro couple. We've got all the spotlight items, first dance, bride spotlight dance, groom spotlight dance, welcome and blessing. And here's another thing. If they want to shift things around in here, I make it super, super simple. We can grab this right here. And let's say you want to do welcome and blessing up here prior to their intro. We can just move that. Or let's say they've got, they want their guests to go ahead and eat directly after the ceremony. We can go ahead and pull that up here, and I can make sure that the officiant knows that, as soon as the ceremony is over, they get announced. We're going to go ahead and do a blessing and instruct the guests to go ahead and start eating. There's so much in this app that helps couples plan, one, in confidence, which is, I think, most important, but secondarily, being able to plan in such a way that everybody knows what's going on, when I, as their DJ, can make sure that I understand their vision and the assignment for the evening, and make sure that I can get everything in one spot and help facilitate the flow of their evening according to their vision. And their vision is clear to me because we've had those planning sessions. They've gone through here and they've noted the things that are important to them. We've made sure that everybody's on the same page. And those are the biggest things. Let's go on to something I think is a little fun, the guest section. So I like the idea of thinking about the reception as, in a way, a gift to your guests for coming to celebrate you and coming to honor you on your big day. And I think it's important to include them in the music that's being played that evening, whether that's taking requests the night of, or being proactive in that which this allows you to do. And I'm not saying invite your entire guest list to this section, but all your besties, those college friends, the ones that are absolutely most important to you, that you want on the dance floor with you, giving those people access to this section kind of, well, not kind of, it absolutely does facilitate a better idea for your DJ of where the night is going to go. And you as a couple, maybe your taste for music is Phish, and maybe your besties, your VIPs there that evening are more of hip hop, R&B, maybe they're techno or whatever. But this is a good way for the DJ and the couple to get an idea of, well, okay, I planned on this, but it looks like they're really wanting something a little more this direction, or but you can add your guests to this. And the way you add your guests is, as a couple, you can go back to the home page and you can invite. You can add as guest, add their information in here, and invite them, and they can just come right into the app, and they will only see the section marked guests. And I can go in here as your DJ. If you want your guests to see something else specifically for whatever reason, I can open that section up to guests. So, and this is the dance section. This is where all of your dance floor music is going to go. You can add your entire Spotify playlist or iTunes or Apple Music playlist. The one thing that I would suggest, and I say this on behalf of probably 80% of DJs, please don't give us 120 songs. There's only so much time in the night. And if you give us a list of 120 songs, there's one, there's no way we can play it all. And two, it's harder for us to know which 10, 15 of those songs that you really want to hear out of those 120. So we're kind of playing whack-a-mole throughout the night. We're playing this song to see if it hits. We're playing this song to see if it hits. And if you give us 120 must plays and tell us to stick to that list, I don't want to say that you're setting yourself up for what could be a failure, but I will say that it's likely not going to be the full vision that you had in mind. So be intentional is what I should say. Just be a little more intentional about the songs that you send in. Because most of us, let's just be real here. We'll go to Spotify list or Apple Music list, and we might have put a whole list together of 100 songs or so. But if we distill that list down to the 10 or 15 that really make us move, the 10 or 15, maybe 20 songs that actually get us on the dance floor and keep us on the dance floor, and get our couples or our guests on the dance floor. I don't know if that came through or not, but that little noise in the background is distracting me. But being intentional about the songs that you put in this playlist. So let's go here, just for instance. There's let's see, there are 50 songs in this playlist. I would advise you to just go through this. You don't have to listen to them all, but actually just scroll through whatever list you're going to add and be intentional. I mean, like, look, this one's absolutely getting on the playlist. Because some songs are good vibe songs, and I'll say this and then I'll go there. Some songs in your playlist are going to be good vibe songs. Some others are going to be good dance songs. So depending on what you want for your evening, for instance, last weekend I had a wedding, and they made it absolutely clear to me that their family on both sides, they were not dancers. It was a smaller wedding, say 45 or so. And they knew for a fact that they wanted a vibe. They did not expect a dance floor to happen. And in fact, it didn't. Um, and it was not because of the music they wanted me to play. It was the music that they gave me was very much in line with the requests that I was taking, and they made sure I knew that I was to take requests. Um, so that they were spot on. They knew their guests, and it's easier to do that with a smaller wedding, for sure. But taking that into account, knowing what you want as a couple, knowing that vision, and again, distilling that into something that's actionable for your DJ, um, gives us a lot more, well, almost a certain chance of success. Um, Anything else here? That don't playlist. Do not be afraid of using your don't playlist. Um, there have been events that I've done where they wanted zero Taylor Swift. There have been events where they wanted zero Michael Jackson. They didn't want September played. They don't want, the um, line dances played. And that is absolutely fine. As a DJ, if we can't make it through a night without playing those songs, we shouldn't be DJing. Honestly, I'm just going to say it as I think it, and I'm not really going to back up from that. We can make it through a night and not play those songs. There's enough music out there. We're going to lean on you to tell us what you like specifically, and then hopefully we get to take some requests from your guests, to kind of help move the night along and make sure, that the dance floor that you expect actually happens. Uh, that's really all I've got for you today. And to kind of wrap this up here, um, let me go here. Great tools, a great pro equals your perfect wedding day. That's really what it boils down to. Um, so we're gonna just to kind of rehash here. First off, your timeline. You want to build out your entire day from the ceremony, prelude to the last dance. You can attach all those specific songs to those key moments, like your grand entrances, cake cuttings. There's zero confusion when you use something like this format. Um, and your music, again, you can link your Spotify, your Apple Music, and simply you can just drag those songs in. If you're on a desktop, and I forgot to mention that you can access this app either mobile or on the desktop. So either way, whichever way you prefer to do it, and I kind of prefer the desktop, but you can just drag those songs in there, indicate your must plays, your play if possibles. Those do not plays, again, so important. And you can also add notes in every section. Every section has notes in it. So let's say for maybe your first dance or one of the spotlight dances, you know that you're not going to necessarily dance to the full song. You can let me know that, hey, I want this song started at, you know, a minute and a half, and or we're gonna dance to this song up until this point. You can make sure that your DJ knows that, okay, at this point we're gonna fade out. Now, I like having that available, but what I'm gonna do day of, right before we announce you for your dances, I'm gonna come up to you two as a couple and say, look, I know that you told me that you want to come out of this song at a minute and 47 seconds. I'm gonna plan on that, but also wherever your hand is, bride, when you're dancing with your brand new husband or your brand new significant other, or you're dancing with your father, whatever those spotlight dances are, I'm going to lean on both of you. I'm going to be eyes on the entire time. And wherever your hand is, just give me a little tap. I'll be eyes on. I'll see you. It doesn't have to be this big head nod. That way I know that we are coming out on purpose. Maybe you had a moment, in the days prior to the wedding, or maybe the day of, and you've changed your mind and you want to take advantage of that full song. Or maybe just as you're in the moment dancing, you're like, oh, you know what? I don't want to end it now. So I prefer that method. But Again, you can put that in the notes section. And again, for your guests, you can send your guests that link so they can request songs before the wedding. And it really is a great way to get them excited. And don't worry, you're going to have the final say. You can veto songs or any suggestions that you don't like. So wrapping up here, a tool really is only as good as the person using it. And I say that to say mostly your DJ or your vendor, whoever that vendor is, and whatever planning platform they have for you. Having an app like this is one thing, but having a DJ who builds it into their processes is what really makes a difference. And this is what I mean when I talk about hiring quality vendors. It's not just about showing up on the day. It's really about having proven, organized systems in place to capture your vision and turn it into a flawless, actionable plan. And this app eliminates the guesswork and ensures that we are perfectly in sync as DJ and couple for your wedding day. It allows me to stop worrying about the logistics and focus on what you hired me for. You're reading the room, mixing the music, and creating that unforgettable experience for you and your guests. So if you're deep in the planning process, I hope this showed you that there really is an easier way to help handle your music. My advice here is always to ask. Well, let me go back up here. My advice to you is to ask your potential DJ what their planning process looks like. Do they have a system to make your life easier? That's the biggest part of this is really checking with your vendors and seeing what their process is like. And I know as couples, it gets so cumbersome to answer, to ask so many questions and get so many answers. And you're trying to vet your vendors and you don't want to give your life story and spend 20 minutes with the wrong vendor and waste your time or feel like you've wasted your time. And I would contend that you have not wasted your time. You've found out what you did or didn't want. And hopefully you found what you did want. But where was I going with that? But spending time with those vendors and making sure that you've got the quality planning processes and the quality vendor that can lock in with your vision and take action. That's all I got for you today. If you have found this helpful, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out if you would, and subscribe if you appreciate what I'm doing here. And if you want more practical wedding planning advice that cuts through the noise, this is where you're going to find it. And I'm also curious, what's the most stressful part of planning your wedding music? Leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer every single one of them. If you want to learn more about my company and how I use tools like this to create a seamless experience for my couples, you can visit my website. You can find me at DJ Willie D. Super easy, djwillied.com. You can find me at DJ Willie D across social media platforms. And that Facebook page is Wedded Whisperers. It is a brand new group that I started to go along with this. For those community conversations that you want to have, I've got some vendors in there that can help answer questions as well, venue owners, photographers, and the like. But that's all for now. Hope to see you in the next one. And as always, I will see you between now and then.